Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
Would you be opposed to removing one nation under God from the Pledge of Allegiance, and why or why not? One nation under God wasn't added to the pledge until 1954, so yeah, it can be removed. And should be. Yeah, it was put in as part of the peak of the anti-commie fad. Apparently, they thought communists would recoil in fear like vampires at mention of God. I hate that they inserted it into the middle of what was one country indivisible, thus symbolically dividing the country by interjecting their personal religious preference. One nation, under Canada, above Mexico. Robin Williams. Further proof that that man was too good for this world. I'm okay with removing the Pledge of Allegiance altogether. It's creepy and cultish. I'm Christian, but it needs to be removed from all public buildings and our money. All are tantamount to government establishment of religion, and violate the First Amendment. The pledge, though, is an abomination and should be entirely removed. Our country fought for its independence to be able to be free of pledges of fealty and forced recitation is something that gets douchebags like Kim Jong-un hard. Seeing your comment got me thinking about the Christian perspective on this. And I have to think that money is one of the last things Jesus would want to be associated with. We live in the South. So even though we don't go to church, my daughter picks up religious things here and there. A few weeks ago I was telling her about Jesus turning over the money changers' tables at the temple. And then read to her the whole passage where he rails on the Pharisees, and we talked about how much Jesus would hate American Christianity. It was inserted by Congress in the early 50s as a reaction to the Red Scare. And even though the original pledge has socialistic origins, I'm not a fan of pledging loyalty to a government. Loyalty to governments can be earned and lost. Interestingly, plenty of countries had these pledges in WW2. Only the USA kept theirs after the end of the war. Yeah, my French wife thinks it's really creepy that such young kids say it in a monotone hypnotic voice. Daily. I never thought about it until she mentioned it. It was just something we did. The fact you have a pledge at all is weird. Sincerely, the rest of the world. In Texas the kids have the American pledge and the pledge to Texas, which is wild to me. First of all, a pledge in school is just ridiculous. Then, you have a pledge to your country and the state you live in. So which is it? Your state or country? Which is more important? The whole thing is so dumb. And kids need to know that they cannot be compelled to say either pledge. Texas has basically always wanted to be their own country. That's why. See also, their electrical grid. Get rid of the entire pledge. It's super creepy to have children literally pledge their allegiance to the US flag every single day. Yeah. Very. Your neighbor to the north has always found this weird. Having to sing the national anthem and Lord's Prayer. Catholic school was already weird enough, to be honest. Remove it. Stop forcing your religion onto the rest of us. And take it off our money too while you're at it. Even better, change it to one nation over God, because God is our bitch now. Our gods are dead. Ancient Klingon warriors slew them a millennia ago. They were more trouble than they were worth. Commander Worf. I think we should remove the pledge altogether. I agree. It's literally indoctrinating and it's creepy as hell. I'm not pledging any allegiance to any government, WTF. Totally. Free countries don't require pledges of allegiance. Authoritarian regimes require pledges of allegiance. I think the entire pledge should go. Forcing young children to pledge blind allegiance to their government is creepy and fucked up. It's the kind of thing you would expect from North Korea, not from a supposedly free country. All governments are corrupt and fallible, and none of them are deserving of your unconditional allegiance. Always found it really creepy as someone who's not American. Where I live, we were taught that Nazi Germany used to have pledges like that as a way to indoctrinate the populace from a young age. So, when I found out they do that in the US, I was quite shocked tbh. How are parents even okay with that? We went 178 years without it. It's unneeded and false. No, not everyone in America is religious. Get rid of it and restore the national motto back to E pluribus unum. Edit. If it's still the motto, let's put it back on our money instead of In God We Trust. Edit 2. The official motto of the United States actually is In God We Trust. That's still the national motto. Yay. Restoration successful. It is not. We changed in 1956, shortly after adding Under God to the pledge. The law is pretty straightforward. Section 302. National motto, In God We Trust, is the national motto. 36 USC Section 302. That's the entire thing. I prefer, E pluribus anus, seems more fitting. We're all human beings. Get rid of the Pledge of Allegiance altogether. I'll swear to protect and uphold the Constitution, but I am not going to pledge my allegiance to a piece of fabric flapping in the wind. You are pledging to the republic for which it stands. Just as somebody should be loyal to their profession rather than their employer. I think that prioritizing loyalty to the ideas of the Constitution would be better. At least the parts that weren't morally wrong in the past. To the flag and to the Republic. Keep it in. It's worked wonderfully to rid our government of corruption. Because lying, cheating, and stealing are immoral, and deeply religious societies would never do such things. Big, fat, honking, s. You really had me for a second. Hey, countries where religion plays the largest role in public policy are also the world's most dysfunctional ones. And no, this time.